spring, tread summer, bound to die.
Myself, when young, not a pretty sight.
Then back to wintertide again, where nothing stirs. But oh, whate'er the sky-led seasons mar, moon upon moon rebuilds it with her beams.
Posthumous, Agrippa's sole surviving son, and my best friend. His mother, Julia, was banished, you may remember, and his two elder brothers died mysteriously.
If the gods in heaven should add the morrow to the day.
The golden-haired Apollo is Germanicus, my brother, already a great soldier.
Will ever hold. When thou descendest once the shades among the stern aside.
And if you wait a moment, you will see a creature of a different kind. Livia, my sister. Yes, there she is, tormenting Posthumus as usual, when her husband is away.
Shall friend thee more.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Horace, my dear fellow, such language. Wonderful, wonderful. Weren't they lovely poems? Exquisite. Now that's what I call poetry. Ovid, I mean, there's no comparison. It's better than Ovid. I don't care what they say. I've never liked that man. All right, his poetry is very beautiful, but it's also very smutty. A lot of it's downright indecent. Frankly, I wouldn't have him in the house. Thank you. People say that he has a lovely voice. But I say, what does he do with his lovely voice? Talks a lot of smut. That's what he does. Write poetry, yes. But, you know, write about nice things. Things that you'd like your children to hear. Now, I want a copy of the book when you publish.
But of course, Caesar.
And before you go, I've got a little present for you.
Oh, but Caesar.
It's nothing. It's a little gold statue I found in Etruscan, I think. It's solid gold, but you'll appreciate it more than anyone.
Go to it.
Praxis? Praxis, where are you?
Yes, Caesar.
Yes, he knows where it is. Now, wait till you see it. Really. Yes, you must come again sometime.
I was wondering how long it would take you to knock that over.
Claudius, how can you be so clumsy?
Oh, leave us alone, for heaven's sake. If you want to do the clearing up, we'll find you some work in the kitchens.
Claudius!
Nina, wake up. It's time to go home.
Time we all went home.
What, are you leaving?
It's late. It's 2 hours after dark already.
Yes, you're right. And there's a lot of work to do tomorrow. A sleepy head's a foolish one. Oh, what a poet that Horace is, eh? Well, Livia, the whole family was here tonight except your husband. It won't do, you know.
What can I do? Castor hates family dinners.
Oh, I don't understand that. Tiberius, you must talk to that son of yours.
You talk to him. He doesn't listen to me.
Good night, Uncle.
Good night, my dear. Grandfather. Good night, Germanicus. Good night, Peanut.
Good night, Grandmother.
That's my foot you're treading on.
Sorry.
Claudius, do come on.
Posthumous, I'll come and see those troops of yours tomorrow. How are they shaping up?
Very well. There's some good material there.
Good.
Good night.
Good.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Demetia.
Good night, Grandfather.
Good night, little. Now you tell that husband of yours. Oh, well, you know what to tell him.
Grandmother.
Good night, my dear. You looked very lovely tonight.
Thank you. Good night, Uncle.
Good night, Grandfather.
What? Oh, yes. Good night, Claudius. Ah, what a wonderful evening. They're such good children. I think they like their little presents, eh?
What are we going to do about Claudius?
Oh, Claudius, what in the matter of what?
In the matter of the games to be held in his father's honor.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, must we think about it now?
Well, how much longer can we leave it? Is he to sit in your box at the games, or is he not?
It might look a little odd if he doesn't.
It might look even odder if he does. Do you want to sit next to a twitching idiot all day?
Oh, let's think about it tomorrow, eh? Good night, my dear. Now, don't you worry about Claudius. I'll have him to dinner a few times, and I'll see how he gets on. If we could just stop that twitching.
Caesar! Caesar, forgive me, but a courier has just arrived from Germany.
Are you mad? Do you expect me to read dispatches this time of night?
But it's urgent, Caesar, urgent! There's been a terrible disaster.
Send him in.
Come in, come in.
Is this the way you present yourself? Couldn't you have taken a bath first?
Forgive me, Caesar. I have ridden for 4 days. I would not have presumed...
Which legion are you with?
I was with the 19th.
Was? Have you been transferred?
No, Caesar. The 19th Legion does not exist anymore. Nor does the 17th, nor the 18th. The whole army of Quintilius Varus was massacred in the Teutoburg forest. Nothing stands between the German tribes and our provinces in Gaul.
Massacred? What are you saying to me?
There is no army in across the Rhine Germany. Troops and orderlies, auxiliaries and general staff massacred to a man. Those who survived the battle were hunted down, killed.
Where is Varus?
Dead. When he saw that all was lost, he killed himself.
3 legions?
3 legions, Caesar. There's nothing left.
Semper Germanicus and Posthumus. Hurry! Come with me to the study. Come with us!
They caught us here and here. We were on a punitive expedition because we'd had news that a tax collector and his staff had all been murdered.
He sent 3 legions on a punitive expedition?
Not at first, Caesar, no. But we'd suffered some early defeats in raids, so he sent back for the rest of the army.
And what happened to the loyal Germans?
They betrayed us, sir. They led us into the forest and then vanished.
But weren't you warned?
Many times, Caesar.
Go on.
We'd had a massive intelligence warning us that things were happening in the villages.
Go on.
The commander ignored it, sir.
Oh, that stiff-necked fool. I should never have appointed him. Oh, go on, go on, go on.
We were advancing along a forest track. We didn't even put out advance guards or flank guards. Our progress was slow because we were constantly felling trees, and this gave the tribes time to gather. Then it started to rain. The archers couldn't keep their bows dry, and the leather shields became soaked and too heavy to carry. Then our carts got stuck in the mud. When the Germans attacked, we were in a hopeless position.
What's happened? The army east of the Rhine has been destroyed. All of it. Nothing stands between the Germans and our provinces in Gaul.
How did you get out?
Only one officer kept his head, Cassius Chaerea. He formed up about 120 of us, and we cut our way out and back to the fort. The others are still there.
All right. Did the Germans take any prisoners?
Yes. They put them in wicker cages and burnt them alive.
Lady, I can't find Posthumus Agrippa. He's not in his room.
Well, Praxis, did it occur to you he may have visited his wife's room?
Well, naturally, I tried there, but he wasn't there either. I then spoke to one of the palace guards, You said you'd seen him earlier walking along the corridor towards your granddaughter's apartments.
Livia?
Yes. Naturally, I didn't inquire further because...
Because her husband has not yet returned.
The men that Posthumus has been training on Mars Field, it brings the number up to about a legion.
It will do. It all depends then whether the Germans have seized the Rhine bridges.
They won't have taken them yet. They're barbarians. They'll go for plunder and end up fighting each other.
Then we'll have to secure the bridges. Fast.
Well, I'll take a company and start tomorrow.
I can raise the rest and bring them on.
No, Germanicus stays here. When news breaks tomorrow, there'll be panic here. I need him to deal with it.
Well, it was Field. It was years ago, but I saw it. But it's been stolen, probably. Ah, here is someone.
There's a book we want to look at. It's by a Greek called Polemocles, and it's a commentary on Polybius' military tactics. It's not in the catalogue, but it was here.
I'll see if I can find it.
Why, it's young Claudius, isn't it?
Yes, it is, sir.
You seem very studious. What are you reading?
Romantic rubbish, overbound. That's all the young use this library for. What is it that you're reading?
It's your own history of the civil wars.
It's rubbish, all right.
So you know who I am?
Oh, yes, sir. Asinius Pollio, one of our greatest historians.
One of them? What do you mean, one of them?
One of the two greatest.
And who is the other one?
Livia, of course.
Well, there can't be two greatest. That's just shilly-shallying, apart from being an abuse of the Roman tongue. So you will have to choose. Which one of us would you rather read?
Oh, come, Pollio, that's not fair.
Nonsense, the less obviously intelligent. Now speak up, boy. Which of us would you rather read?
Well, it depends, sir.
Oh, intelligent, but cowardly.
No, I mean, it depends on what I'm reading for. For beauty of language, I would read Livy. And for interpretation of fact, I would read Pollio.
Now you please neither of us, and that's always a mistake.
Well, I wasn't trying to please, just tell the truth.
He might make an historian after all.
The book isn't here. Perhaps you read it in the Octavian library.
I'm not so old, young man, that I don't know what library I'm in when I'm in it.
Excuse me? The book you want, it's on the top shelf, fourth from the window, right at the back. I had it out the other day. Only the title is Dissertation on Tactics, and it's by Polemocrates, not Polemocles. And he was a Jew, not a Greek.
You'd better be right, boy, for I don't take kindly to that many corrections in one day.
Have I upset you?
Yes, it'll do him good. Do you like history?
Yes, sir.
But who the devil are you? Livy called you Claudius.
I'm Tiberius Claudius Usus near Germanicus.
Oh, that Claudius. They told me you were a half-wit.
Well, my fam is ashamed of me because I stammer, and I'm lame, and my head twitches.
Yes, I've noticed that. But can't you stop it?
No. The doctor said I grow out of it.
Why were you reading my History of the Civil Wars?
Oh, I'm gathering material for life of my father and grandfather.
Oh, I remember them.
They both believed in the Republic.
I know they did. That's why they died.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, that's why they were poisoned.
Poison?
Shh, not so loud. I won't mention any names, but I'll tell you this. You say you're writing a life of your father. They won't let you finish it.
Who won't?
Never mind. Look here, Claudius, I'll give you some good advice. Do you want to live a long and useful life?
Yes.
In that case, exaggerate your stutter and your limp. Let your wits wander and play the fool as much as you like. Do you understand me? It's a pleasure to talk to you, my boy. I must find Livy.
Poison. Taste that. You know, there's nothing quite like a piece of food picked fresh from a tree, or a field, or a stalk.
It's very nice, but you didn't ask me how to taste the figs.
Did you ever think how fortunate we are? I mean, that we weren't born in a wattle hut on the banks of the Rhine, or in a grubby little tent in Syria. Did you ever think what Rome means? Do you understand the effort that has gone into making this little place master of the world? Do you understand the work and dedication needed to maintain it?
Are you displeased with me, Grandfather?
Sit down. Listen, Posthumus. We can't afford to sleep, you know. Other people, they think only of their bread and their circuses, but us, now we have to provide them. I hear nothing but complaints about you.
What sort of complaints?
Well, you do all sorts. I mean, you threw a palace guard into the fountain the other day.
He was laughing at Claudius.
Well, everyone laughs at Claudius. I mean, what are you going to do, throw them all in the fountain? And then people say that you're rude and bad-tempered.
Who says?
Well, Livia, for instance. I mean, she complains about you all the time.
What does she say about me?
Well, she says, for example, and I've heard it from others, that you're a bit of a rake. Is it true? You know, the night that the courier brought news from Germany, I sent for you. Yes. You weren't in your room. Your wife complains that you don't sleep with her enough.
I never wanted that marriage.
Just because you could sleep with her, couldn't you? She's made the same as any other woman. It's for us to set an example. Now, without proper family life, where we find the people to carry on?
Why has my inheritance from my father been withheld?
That's what's bothering you. You'll get your inheritance when I think you're mature enough to use it.
Do I have to sit an examination?
Now, don't be cheeky with me. Now, you listen. Your father was my greatest friend. If anything had happened to me, he would have taken over here. And that's what I look for in his sons. Well, both your brothers are dead. And you're all I've left of him. And it's my intention that you should follow me.
My stepfather may not agree with you.
Oh, you let me worry about Tiberius.
You made him your adopted son as well as me. What am I to think?
I did it out of respect for his mother. I mean, she deserved it. She's an amazing woman. But Tiberius, I mean, that's something else. We just don't get on. I've never liked him. And anyway, he's not right to succeed me, whatever Livia thinks. Now, I say succeed, but we are not kings. We have no divine right to rule. Still, after all my years of service to the state, I think the Senate will accept my recommendation. But you must earn it to understand.
Come.
Grandmother, who sent for me? How are you? Grandmother?
Why do you deceive your husband every time he's away?
Deceive? I don't understand.
Why do you allow Posthumus Agrippa into your room at night?
But I don't! Who said such a thing?
You're not going to lie to me, are you? You're not going to treat me like a fool. Do you think that I, who know everything that happens in Rome, wouldn't know what happens under my own roof? I've had you watched, child, and Posthumus Agrippa, as I had his mother watched. Your Aunt Julia. Do you remember her? She was sent to an island called Panditeria. It's a few minutes' walk from end to end. But I shouldn't think she walks it much anymore. She's been on it for 7 years.
God. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I won't ever do it again. Don't send me away. Please. Please, I won't ever see him again, I swear it.
You were always a naughty little girl. You know that, don't you? Your mother never punished you enough.
You won't tell Augustus, will you? He'll send me away if you do, and I couldn't bear it.
Well, perhaps that won't be necessary. Oh, come on, dry your tears, come on. There. That's better. Such a beautiful girl. I was beautiful, too, once, you know.
They say that you were the most beautiful woman in the world.
And there was one other. But she was in Egypt. And besides, she didn't last as long as I did. Now, about Posthumus Agrippa. You're not in love with him, are you?
No.
He pestered you, I suppose, and you gave in. Oh, what frail creatures we women are.
He always wanted me.
Yes, and you always enjoyed teasing him, didn't you? Oh, yes, you did. I've seen it.
I swear to you I won't do it again.
Yes, well, let's not be in too much of a hurry to swear anything, shall we? My dear, I must talk to you like a grown woman now. Can I talk to you? Can I open my heart to you?
Oh, yes, grandmother, yes.
Many years ago, you know, before you were born, we all went through the terrible agony of civil war. Rome tottered and shook and nearly fell. I'm afraid that may happen again.
And will it?
I'm sure of one thing. Only a single hand at the helm will keep this ship on course. Now the question is, whose hand will it be? If there is any doubt, the rivalry will plunge us into civil war again.
Is there a doubt, then?
Not in my mind. But there is in someone else's.
Augustus.
And it's my duty to remove that doubt. Through everything I've ever done, that has been my only object. And now it must become yours.
How, grandmother?
You want your husband to become Emperor of Rome?
Yes.
Then his father must become Emperor before him. Tiberius must succeed Augustus, if Castor is to succeed Tiberius. Only then will the line become established. It'll seem easier to accept it than reject it.
And Posthumus.
Bravo, my dear, you've put your finger on it. Yes. Posthumus. As always, we come back to Posthumus.
Nothing. That's what it amounts to. He's done nothing. He holds bridges, but he doesn't cross them. He's playing some game of his own. That's what he's doing. Oh, come in. What's that son of yours playing at? 6 months he's been out there, and all he's got are the bridges over the Rhine. He just sits on his arse all day.
What does he say?
What does he say? He says nothing. That's what he says. Or that's what it amounts to. Those damn barbarians have got my eagles. Quintilius Varus, where are my eagles?
He's cautious, naturally.
Damn his caution. I sent him out there to get my eagles back, not to sit on the banks of the Rhine for 6 months.
He has an army of raw recruits. Would you have him risk another ambush?
Well, if he doesn't risk something, he may as well have stayed here. Look, He's playing some game of his own, that's what he's doing.
That's a very childish thing to say.
Is it? Then why doesn't he send my eagles back?
He'll move when he judges the army ready to move.
He'll move now, and I'll send Posthumus Agrippa with an army to make sure.
I think that wouldn't be wise.
I make the military decisions, not you!
There's no need to lose your temper. I would dream of advising you on such matters. I'm sure my son would welcome reinforcements. I question only the wisdom of sending Posthumus.
Why?
He's unproved and untried.
Oh, you always say that!
What if I always say that? It's because it's always true.
He's the obvious person to send. He's been training recruits on Mars Field for months.
Training recruits and leading men into battle are not the same thing.
Oh. How will he ever learn if he never does anything? His brother was governor of Syria at 19.
Gaius was different. You had confidence in him, and so did the Senate. Gaius was reliable. He was a statesman. We all loved him.
Yes, but
Posthumus is totally unpredictable. Besides, if you send Posthumus, Tiberius will naturally regard it as a criticism.
Good. That's what it's meant to be. I'm not sending him a new army to inquire after his health.
But there's a history of mistrust and antagonism between Posthumus and Tiberius. I mean, if Posthumus arrives, Tiberius will regard him as more of a spy than a support. He'll think you don't trust him.
That's ridiculous.
Well, haven't you already said you think he's playing some game of his own? If you want to avoid friction between the commanders, then I suggest you send Germanicus.
All right, I'll send Germanicus. But I want my damned eagles back. What's this?
It's a biography, if you please. Well, it's the beginning of one anyway.
A biography of whom?
By whom is more to the point. It's by my idiot grandson, Claudius. Antonia found it in his study and brought it to me.
You don't expect me to read it, do you?
No, I'm going to have it destroyed. It's subversive. I've told him on no account is he to continue with it.
How's it subversive?
He praises his father's only fault, his attachment to the Republic.
It's harmless enough. You don't want me to punish him, do you?
No. But I do want a decision on whether or not he is to sit in your box at the games.
The games? And in honor of his father. If we send Germanicus off to the Rhine, neither of his sons will be in the box. I think he should be there, but at the back. Incidentally, I hope you don't think I'm going to pay for these games. I've had a very expensive year.
Well, if you feel like that about the games, we needn't have them at all.
I don't feel like that about the games. I just feel like that about paying for them.
Well, nobody's asking you to pay for them.
Yes, well, as long as that's understood.
Well, was it ever in doubt? Antonia and I will pay for the games. And Germanicus and Claudius.
Claudius? Well, that's even more reason why I should be in the box. It'll be a very expensive seat by the time he's finished. While we're on the subject of Claudius, now when is he going to get married?
He'll be married at the end of the year.
Oh, you said that last year.
Yes, well, he seemed to get worse last year, so I put it off.
You sure this girl will marry him?
What's it got to do with her? They were betrothed 6 years ago, and that's that.
Well, to be honest with you, I feel sorry for her. What's she like?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since she was 13.
Well, does she know what she's getting?
Do any of us? Look, you've left these matters to me for the last 30 years. Are you going to start interfering in them now?
I was asking a question, that's all. Can't I ask a question anymore? What's the matter with you today? Why are you so bad-tempered?
It's you that's bad-tempered. Your temper gets worse by the day. Everybody notices it. I think you could do with a rest. A long one.
Quintilius Varus, where are my eagles?
sit behind. Here with Herod.
Your nose is running.
Just look at them all. They can't wait to see the blood start flowing.
I've seen a sword fight before. I wish Germanicus was here.
Look at them, stuffing themselves with cakes. And down below, their fellow men are preparing to die for their enjoyment.
Oh, Herod! I hope you're not going to spoil it all.
My dear Claudius, I'm fascinated. I never cease to wonder at these spectacles.
Its origin is religious. It's a religious rite. Really? Honor and the spirits of the dead.
By rendering more people dead? How noble.
Shut up, Herod. You're a Jew. You don't understand these things. Besides, Mother will hear you.
I have a few words to say to you before these games begin. But gather round. Now, these games are being held in honor of my son Drusus Nero, who is worth the whole lot of you put together. It's my intention that these games shall be remembered long after you're all dead and forgotten even by our nearest and dearest. You're all scum, and you know it, but you've a chance here, some of you, to prove that you're a bit more than that. And for those whom death doesn't liberate, there'll be plenty of freedoms handed out afterwards, to say nothing of gold plate and coin. But I want a good show. I want my money's worth. I don't want any kiss in the ring stuff. And I don't want my family watching two grown men pussyfooting round each other for half an hour before one of them aims a real blow. There's been too much of that in the past. And don't think you can fool me either, because I know every trick in the book, including the pig's blood in the bladder, to make it look as if one of you's dead. There's been too much of that too lately. These games are being degraded by the increasing use of professional tricks to stay alive. And I won't have it. So put on a good show, and there'll be plenty of money for the living and a decent burial for the dead. And if not, I'll break this guild up, and I'll send the lot of you to the mines in Numidia. That's all I've got to say to you. Theatre.
That happened to me once. Do you remember, Livia?
No, I don't.
Did you know? Which games was it at?
I don't remember.
Or was it at the races?
The gladiators are saluting you.
Eh? Oh.
Calm down, for heaven's sake. It's one of them who's about to die, and they look more relaxed than you do.
Drusus would have loved this.
Yes. I was thinking of him.
I'm sure he's watching, my dear.
Poor Drusus.
I'm sure the fat one's going to win.
How about a little bet, Herod, eh? I'll take the fat man for 20 gold pieces.
Caesar, it would be against my religion to bet on the life of a man.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought it was against your religion to bet on anything.
Caesar, it's true. The Jews love gambling, but they fear their God more.
Which one?
We have only one Caesar.
I don't understood that. It's quite insufficient. You could have some of ours, you know. Lots of people do.
Believe me, Caesar, the one we have is hard enough to live with. But on second thoughts, I'll take the bet.
Good man!
Finish him! Finish him!
It's all right. I'll see him home.
Where's your husband?
Gone out in one of his usual jaunts.
That's all I could do to stop touching the games today. And then he went mad.
My poor darling.
Of animal.
It's a lie. Can't you see? The whole thing's a lie.
Beast, look at her. She's terrified.
She invited me into her room.
I didn't. He climbed over my balcony and attacked me.
What, you expect me to believe she'd invite you to her room with her husband a few doors away?
She told me he'd be out.
The pig! Stop it! Now stop it! Wait outside. I suppose you'll tell me that this isn't your dagger.
Yes, it's mine, but she could have got it any time. She and Castor dine with us often enough.
What'd you take me for? Do you expect me to believe that she tricked you into coming into her room so she could falsely accuse you of rape? And for what reason? Well, tell me!
Ask her. Perhaps she knows.
I'm asking you!
He'll incriminate us all before he's done.
She hates me, and you're so blind you can't see it.
Hates you? What you mean, hates you?
She hates me as she hated my brothers and my mother. She hates anyone who might come between you and her precious son.
What is going on here? What is he saying?
Oh, Grandfather, open your eyes. Throw off the blinkers. For years, everyone around you's either died or disappeared. Do you think it was all an accident? My father, Agrippa, and before him, Marcellus. My brothers, Gaius and Lucius. My mother, Julia, now me. Well, can't you see she's clearing a path for herself? And that other son of hers, Drusus, whose revered memory she honors in those games of hers. Ask her how he died. There was nothing wrong with him till she sent her personal physician to treat him.
Marcellus? Agrippa? What was he saying? What is he? Some kind of raving lunatic? What does he think? That they were all murdered? Are you insane? Or is it just that you want me to think you are? Yes. Oh, you're very clever. You think that by pretending insanity that I'll be lenient with you? Yes, you think a show of madness will move me and I'll put you away somewhere in the care of a doctor. You're disgusting. You know something. I'd rather clean vomit off the street than talk to you.
That's incredible, isn't it? It's too horrific even to think about it. I have to be mad even to mention it. What a joke. What a pathetic joke. Well, can't you see it's not me that's mad, it's her. Look at her! She's a mad woman! She'll destroy us all before she's finished, you included!
Kill you now. Spill your guts onto the floor and give you no more thought than I would a dog killed on the road. But that'd be too good for you. You're going to suffer. Like your mother suffers. Living out your life on a rock somewhere in the middle of the sea with nothing but birds for company. And it won't be on any you'll find on a map, because they're all too big for you. But I'll find one. Don't you fear, just your size. In 10 minutes, you'll know every stone and blade of grass. And you'll stay there till you rot. Guard! Take him out and keep him under arrest. Are you all right?
I feel unclean.
No, my dear, it's not you that's unclean, it's him. Tomorrow you and I will go to the temple and make a sacrifice together. You'll feel better.
They're searching for me in the grounds. They'll find me soon. I haven't much time. What's the matter? Just listen.
Well?
He slipped the guards. They're searching the palace for him.
He won't get far. If he runs to the ends of the earth, he'll find a Roman or a friend of Rome ready to give him up. Oh, take your wife to bed. And Castor, be nice to her. Get in beside her. That's your place. If you'd been there more often instead of carousing around town, none of this might have happened.
And you really think my grandmother put Livia up to it?
I'm certain of it. I'll go now.
If Livia knows I've been here, your life won't be worth much. But I wanted you to know. I wanted you above all to know the truth, and I want Germanicus to know when you return.
I'll tell you, but listen, stay alive. Don't give them any excuse to kill you.
I'm sorry I won't be at your wedding.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be a very small affair. I embarrass them all far too much.
Good. Go on embarrassing them. Go on playing the idiot. It's safer that way.
Do you know somebody else said that to me a while ago? Asinius Polio.
Then we're not the only ones who know what's going on here. Goodbye, old friend.
She just kept on going.
Where did you find this one?
Under a pile of old rubbish in the cellar. I doubt we'll find any more.
Yeah, that's what you said the last time we found something. It's incredible. The way people just dump things. You see, it should all be lettered and filed and numbered.
Would you like me to tidy up some of this mess, Caesar?
Well, no. The last time you tidied up, I couldn't find anything anymore. Joe, what is this? The last will and testament of Augustus Caesar. Augustus' will.
Hail, Caesar! The legions of Rome salute you on their return from the Rhine. In triumph? In triumph, Caesar. The German tribes are put down. They have sued for peace. Our punishments have been fierce, and we have brought back many captives to Rome. The province is peaceful once more, and her tribute flows again. Your legions await your further orders. Hail, Caesar!
Hurt your eyes reading in this light?
It was so hot in my room.
Am I disturbing you?
No. It's a very boring book. Where's Mother?
Oh, she and Pina are talking about children and about what it's like to be a soldier's wife.
Oh, she is wonderful, Edna, the way she goes everywhere with you. You're very lucky, you know.
And you? How do you like being a married man? And a father? What do you think of your little boy?
I don't like him very much. I think he's horrid.
Oh, Claudius.
What do you think of my wife? She's taller than me.
I know. She's taller than me.
Yeah, no, it's not funny. I mean, at all.
Well, some people just never know when to stop. Do you sleep together?
Now and then. I must admit it's a bit of an ordeal.
Her face is not unpleasant.
Well, I rarely see her face. I never get up that far.
Oh, Claudius. Dear brother, it is good to see you again.
I wish I could have come with you. What was it like?
Oh, the scene in the Teutoburg forest was terrible when we came on it. No one had been buried. Bodies strewn over acres of land, horribly mutilated, most of them.
They're a savage lot, those Urbans.
But we avenged them. They'll be quiet for a long time to come. Now, tell me about Posthumus. You hinted at things in your letters, but you didn't say much.
I was afraid to say too much. Letters get intercepted and read by certain parties.
Oh, come, you see plots everywhere. Who would dare to open your mail?
Grandmother, she opens everybody's.
Livia?
Shh. How else do you think she knows everything that's going on?
Does Augustus know that she opens everybody's letters?
I don't know what Augustus knows, but she knows everything. Posthumus thinks...
Thinks what?
That night he was arrested. He broke away from his guards and he came to see me in my room. He wasn't trying to escape, but he wanted me to know the truth so that I could tell it to you.
And what did he tell you?
And he didn't force Livia. She invited him into her room, as she'd often done before when Castor was out gambling or... anyway, when he got there, she started to scream. The guards rushed in. She accused him of trying to rape her.
Did you believe him?
Yes. I believed Posthumus before I'd believed Livia.
No, but Claudius, it's an age-old excuse that men have often used when accused of the same thing. She led me on. She wanted me to do it.
It's true. I thought that too. One does, even about one's friends. But I believed him.
But why should she do such a thing? What reason would she have?
I asked him the same thing. He said... Livia had put her up to it.
Ah, our grandmother again. Between reading so many letters and arranging so many rapes, when does she ever sleep?
If you're in a mood to listen, I'll tell you what Posthumus thinks of her, and what he thinks will stand the hairs up on your head. He believes that over the years she has systematically destroyed his mother, his two brothers, and possibly his father, Agrippa. He believes she poisoned Julius' first husband, Marcellus, and had a hand in our father's death when he saw what she was doing. He believes that she poisoned our grandfather. He believes she will stop at nothing to ensure that Tiberius follows Augustus. He believes she's mad. And I said all that without stuttering. Well, clearly.
Proof? Claudius, have you mentioned any of this to Augustus?
No! He takes me for a big enough fool already. It must come from you or no one.
All right, I'm listening.
If you prune any more of that, there'll be nothing left.
What are you now? An expert on gardening? Is that something else you've become lately?
I'm only telling you. The gardeners all complain you spoiled them last year.
And whose garden is this?
You're not the only one that uses it.
Incredible. Everyone's an expert suddenly. How long have we been married?
Don't you remember?
50 years. And in all that time, you've never been able to tell one plant from another. And suddenly, you know all there is to know about pruning. Wonderful.
I think your brain's going soft, you know that? Nobody can talk to you anymore.
Anyone can talk to me?
No, they can't.
Anyone can talk to me anytime. Except you. You don't talk to people. You bully them.
This conversation's becoming ridiculous.
Wrong. This conversation was ridiculous from the start.
Your melon's here. Is it true you're going to Corsica?
Yes.
When?
Very soon.
You never told me.
No.
But I don't know what's come over you lately. You seem to tell me nothing.
Well, you get to know everything anyway.
Why are you going to Corsica?
Because the Corsicans asked me to go.
What for?
In the matter of piracy, they've been complaining about it for years. They're losing a lot of business.
Couldn't you have asked one of the consuls to go?
Why should I?
I know how you hate traveling by sea.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Be, stopping off anywhere on the way?
Such as where?
I don't know. You'll be passing the island of your grandson's banishment.
Which one is that?
Planasia. Had you forgotten?
I hadn't thought about it. Why should I stop off there?
Well, I thought you might take this opportunity of inspecting it.
Have you tried this melon? They're from southern Spain. Try one.
I don't want any.
No, you don't eat enough fruit. If you ate more fruit, you wouldn't get so many wrinkles.
Would you like me to come with you?
What for?
It's an arduous journey to make at your age on your own. You might fall ill and die.
Oh, the sea air will do me good. Besides, Germanicus is travelling with me part of the way. I'm sending him to France. What a pillar and support that boy's become.
I see. That's settled then.
Yes.
Double dealing, are we?
No.
Pining up the posture.
No, Grandmother, no!
Then how does he know? And what does he know? He knows something. Somebody's talked to him.
It wasn't me, I swear it. Why should I?
Because you're tired of that lump of a husband of yours and you'd like to see posthumous Agrippa back in favor.
But how could I? He'd never forgive me anyway.
Come on, you're cleverer than that. You'd tell him I forced you into it and you'd beg his forgiveness and you'd shed a few tears. I never met a man who could resist that.
If he knows something, it wasn't from me. I swear it. I swear it.
All right. I believe you. It's someone else, then.
Castor knows. He guessed. I never told him.
Oh, yes, Castor knows. That's why you got your black eye, wasn't it? It didn't pass unnoticed, my dear. But if Castor knows, he'd keep it to himself. He's got nothing to gain there, no. It's someone else.
My brother.
Germanicus wasn't even here.
No, I meant Claudius.
That fool. His brains are addled. He sees nothing and he hears nothing, no. Well, perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps we should just wait and see.
What have we here? Tourists? Have you come to see the beast in his cage? Is the rock bare enough for you, Father? Does it conform to your notions of smallness, or have you found a smaller one still?
How thin you look. How pale.
What did you expect? A fat, jolly man full of laughs and jokes?
You must forgive me, Father. It's been 4 years since I saw a living soul apart from the guards. I wasn't prepared for visitors.
This is Quintus Fabius Maximus, an old friend.
I envy you, Quintus Fabius Maximus.
Envy me what?
Why, that you're an old friend of my father's. You're better off than being his adopted son.
Leave us. Like this.
I don't expect you ever asked. You've a wonderful knack for not finding out what you don't want to know.
Don't say that
Well,
to
what
me.
did you come for, then? A tour around the island? That will take you precisely 10 minutes, as you once prophesied it would take me.
Well, then wound me if you must. I deserve it. You have a knife in your hand. I wouldn't blame you if you used it.
It's tears now, is it? I never knew a man cry as easily as you do.
Yes, tears come easily to me. I don't deny it.
You're wonderful.
Wonderful! What's my role now? To feel sorry for you? To cry for you?
Your mistakes!
Mistakes! Is that what you call them? You made mistakes and you think a few tears will put them right. Well, bravo! Congratulations! You still have tears to shed. Well, how many tears do you think you'd have left if you'd sat on this rock day after day for 4 solid years, pouring them into the sea?
Oh,
how many? My God, you've come to the wrong place, Father, to show us you've got tears. Even the stones weep here. Now you've heard something. Is that it? It's given you pause, made you think perhaps you were wrong, too hasty. Is that why you're here? To tell me it was all a mistake? Well, damn you, I don't want to hear it! Leave me alone! Go away and die, but leave me alone! What have you done to me? 4 years. What have you done with my life? When those guards came in, I thought, this is it. This is the end he's planned for me. This is what I've waited 4 years for. He sent them now to finish me off.
How could you think such a
What
thing?
else could I think? To die, that's nothing. I'd have given my life for you, for Rome, 1,000 times over, but to die like a dog.
What can I say? What can I say? A day hasn't passed when I haven't thought of you.
And I of you. But not fondly, Father. Not fondly.
I know. What could I do? There are such liars in the world, such cheats. And nowhere more, it seems, than among my own. I've had to live this long to find that out.
They've made a fool of you.
There are places in the world where they've made a god out of me. My own family have made me a fool. And Livia, it seems more than anyone.
She lied to you.
Oh, why?
How did you find out?
Germanicus told me.
He wasn't there when it happened.
No, Claudius told him about it. What do you make of him? He's a curious chap. I mean, he's a bit of a fool, isn't he?
Aren't we all?
I've been wrong about a lot of things. But I'm here to make amends. And to tell you it won't be long before you're back in Rome.
Can't I return with you now?
No, the Senate passed a decree making your banishment permanent. I must get that decree reversed. That'll take a bit of time. And the moment I set that in motion, it'll cause a few hearts to flutter, believe me, and a few minds to get busy. I want to wait until Tiberius is out of Rome.
I'd worry more about Livia if I were you.
You live so long with a woman, and she's been more than a wife to you. It'd be like having another right arm. It's hard to believe such things.
Believe them, Father.
I do. I do.
Come in.
Lady, the Chief Vestal, Camilla Pulchra.
You look well, lady, which is a blessing for Rome and for all of us.
And you, my dear, are as beautiful and serene as ever. Come, let's sit down. I envy you your serenity. I envy all the Vestals. I often wish I could have become one of them.
Rome would have been the loser then.
And you retire next year?
Yes, it's 30 years since I took my vows. I must say, I find it hard to believe.
You came to me some time ago to ask me to use my influence with Augustus to persuade the Senate to rebuild the House of the Vestals.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, my dear, I never forget anything.
It's been a dream of mine to leave that house more beautiful than when I entered it. The Senate has promised many times to find the money, but they never have.
Well, I think it's time we did something.
Have you spoken to your husband?
Oh, many times. It's been a dream of mine, too, to rebuild that house. But like all men, he makes promises and noises and does very little. But he also likes to surprise me.
And has he?
Well, I think he has. But I'm not sure. That's why I asked you here. I have a feeling he's set aside a sum for it in his will.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Do you think he has?
Well, I asked him about it again when he returned from Corsica. Wait and see, he said, with such a twinkle in his eye that it made me wonder if he'd come to you recently to make an alteration in his will.
But he did. He came and asked his will and spent a whole morning locked in a room with it. And when he came out, he handed me 2 documents instead of 1.
Ah, you see, I was right. Oh, this intuition of mine. Did he bring someone with him to witness it?
Yes, Fabius Maximus.
Oh, the artful one. He's just like a little boy. He has to be so mysterious about everything. He couldn't come right out with it and say, well, Livia, you shall have your little present when I die. You shall have your house for the Vestals. No, 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 no. He must tease me. He must surprise me. What a dear man he is.
You do think, then, that the alteration is in respect of that?
Well, it seems likely. Oh, what a pity we couldn't take it out and have a look at it. Just you and me. Two women together in a tiny little conspiracy.
Yes, that would certainly set our minds at rest. But it has his seal on.
Oh, but that's nothing. I have the use of his seal. I've had it for years. Well, how else do you think official documents get signed when he's away? Hmm?
I hadn't thought of that. But then, of course, that would be breaking my vows.
Oh, but it's such a good cause. And, of course, if we found the alteration were in respect of something else, why, I would feel bound to find that money myself. Rome owes so much to the sanctity of the Vestals. What do you think, my dear?
Oh, Montanus! Me Montanus!
If you would lie still and let the cold compresses work. Oh, the pains in my belly, you fool, not in my head. Here, drink this. It'll ease the pain. Oh, it's like a fire in there. It's the ulcer again. I warned you. Too much work and too much worry. Will you follow a diet if I prescribe it? Yes, yes. Eat only milk products and eggs. And give up work for a while, or I won't be responsible. When you feel a little better, take a holiday, go to Capri or somewhere and rest. Paddle in the sea, get plenty of fresh air. I'll talk to Lady Livia about it.
I've had premonitions. Premonitions of death.
We all have them.
No. This is serious. Listen, old friend. Let me tell you. 2 weeks after we came back from you know where, yes, I was in Marsfield giving a libation, a little ceremony. Oh, you remember?
Well, I remember, but I wasn't there.
No?
No.
Well, nearby there's the temple built in the memory of Marcus Agrippa.
Yes, I know it.
Yes. Well, an eagle circled my head 5 times, then flew off and settled on the A of Agrippa's name.
Caesar!
Don't lie to me, don't lie to me. It's clear what it means. Let's not pretend. It was telling me that my time had come, and the time must give way to someone by the name of Agrippa.
Posthumous?
Who else?
Did you consult an augur?
No, I don't need an augur. It's plain. Plain as the nose on your face.
Well, there may be some other explanation. You're not an expert on the interpretation of signs.
Then listen to this. The following day, lightning melted the sea on my name on a statue nearby. It struck the C of Caesar. Do you follow C? Now, what does C mean?
100.
100, exactly. Livia saw it. She went to an augur to find out what it meant. She wouldn't tell me, but I forced it out of her. It means that I have only 100 days to live. I shall die in 100 days.
Oh, weeks?
Eh?
Why shouldn't it be weeks? Or months? Why shouldn't it mean that you live to be 100?
You think so?
Why not?
Well, perhaps she went to the wrong augur. Perhaps he looked at the wrong book.
Good Holy Grandmother. Mother and I would like to know if there's any change in Augustus' health.
He's improving, which is more than I can say for you.
Thank you, Grandmother. It's a great relief.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it true? Is it true you've written a book about the religious changes during the reign of Augustus?
Yes, Grandmother.
And that you intend to give a public reading of it?
Yes, Grandmother.
You do no such thing?
No, Grandmother. It wasn't my idea. Americus suggested it before he left.
I won't have you making a laughing stock of my family.
I'm better when I'm rehearsed.
He's a trained monkey, but he still looks and sounds every inch a monkey.
Come.
If that head of yours doesn't stop twitching, I'll have it off and stuck on a pole. That'll fix it.
Thank you, Grandma. Thank you.
Leave it alone.
Grandson of yours could wreck the empire just by strolling through it. Augustus is improving. Are you drinking because he nearly died or because he didn't?
Sarcastic, aren't we, this morning?
I was just wondering. I never know whether I read you right. Is something wrong?
He's altered his will. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. That took your breath away, didn't it?
How do you know?
I know. I make it my business to know.
In whose favor?
Who's to think?
Germanicus?
Ha! Trust you to get it wrong. I must have been nodding when I gave birth to you.
I sometimes wonder, Mother, whether you ever did anything so natural as giving birth.
Huh?
In whose favor has he altered his will?
Posthumous, who's to think? He took a trip to Corsica. Didn't it occur to you he may stop off to visit your stepson?
Well, why should he?
Perhaps he's changed his mind about him.
Why? What could have caused him to change it? What does he know now that he didn't know then? What could he know? What is there to know?
He's a senile old man. How do I know what causes him to change his mind? But he has. And so much the worse for you, my baby, if I can't change it back again.
Well, don't bother on my account. I'm sick of it. The gods know I've done my best. He never liked me. Never. 30 years I've run his errands for him. I've fought on his bloody frontiers, collected his taxes. He's never once put his hand on my arm and said, thank you. What would I have done without you? Now he sends me off to Illyricum and he doesn't even plan a farewell dinner. Not even a goodbye. Just get on your horse and ride. Well, damn him! I retired before and I can retire again. Let his precious grandson run his empire for him. I'm sick to death of it.
When did you leave?
Very soon.
I wouldn't travel too fast if I were you.
Why not?
Well, you won't have so far to come back if anything happens to him.
I was just going to see your mother. I've heard she's not very well. I wanted to have a few words with you, but I'm dragging you away from your work.
Oh, really?
Are you sure? Well, I'll only stay a minute and then I'll go.
Are you better now?
Well, you know, I think so. Shall we sit down for a moment?
Please.
They put me on this diet, you know, but I cured myself. Do you know, I refused to eat. Oh, little milk and fruit. I got myself this cow, and I milked it myself. And the fruit I picked from the garden, so it was untouched by human hand, you might say, except my own. You never know what gets into food when it goes into the kitchens. The slaves are so careless. Anyway, I'm still here. Yes. I'm going away for a little holiday, first to Capri and then to Nola. I'm a bit tired. Oh, what a pleasant garden this is. I've never been here before. Claudius, do you bear me any ill will?
Ill will? Why should I?
Oh, it's funny the way we can be so wrong about people. I was wrong about you. You see, we judge too much on appearances. And, well, I mean, your appearance is against you. I mean, you know that, don't you? I mean, you give everybody the impression that you're a bit of a fool. No point in mincing matters. But you're not such a fool, are you?
I hope not.
Germanicus told me all about you. He said that you were loyal to three things. To your friends, to Rome, and to the truth. I mean, that's a wonderful thing to say of a person. I'd be very proud if you said that about me.
My brother worships you.
No. Do you think so?
Yes, he's often told me.
Well. He's a great man, you know. A fine Roman in the best tradition, even though he's a bit of a Republican. What did you think? I didn't know? I'm a Republican myself, at heart. I mean, you know that, don't you? I mean, it was never my intention to rule for so long. But I don't know, the things, they just didn't work out. I kept wanting to retire. I mean, your father wanted me to retire. I don't know, it just never happened. So many things turn out different from the way you hoped. I went to Corsica, you know, and I paid a visit to a certain island, and I saw a certain person. Now, none of that would have happened but for you. Germanicus told me everything. Anyway, when I got back, I paid a visit to the vessel Virgins, and I made some alterations to a certain document there that I'd left. Now, no one knows about that, not even your grandmother. So not a word.
You could trust me.
Yes. I see now that I can. When I get back, we'll talk again. We'll talk many times, eh? I've found another friend. You see, even at my age, a man finds he has friends he never even dreamed of. Oh, what luck, Livia! I threw Venus 3 times in a row. Come on, pay up. Oh, what luck, Livia! You never saw such a... Oh, come and play. I'm winning a fortune.
Don't you think it's time to go to bed?
No, certainly not. All right, we start again. Odds or evens?
Odds.
Even. Juniors shall not betting.
Caesar, I have no money. It's all gone.
No, really? Oh, come on, have some of mine.
But you gave us all money to start with.
Well, it's only a game.
But if we win, we keep it, and if we lose, you give it back.
Who's complaining? Oh, come on, make your bet. Montanus, have you made your bet?
I'm betting odds, Caesar.
Oh, you'll be sorry, I've been throwing even all night.
Even.
Ready? What did I tell you? Come on, pay up. Now, who bet odds? Now, come on, don't slink away. I saw you. Oh, what an evening. Even stakes you're winning. Odds pay up.
Yes. Odds are even.
What's the matter?
I feel sick.
Take me to my room.
No food! Do you hear? I'll eat figs from the garden, nothing else, nothing. And I'll pick them myself. Are you mad? Figs from the garden? Aren't your bowels loose enough already? I must give you some medicine. Oh, no! Nothing that's been touched by human hand, you hear? Not even Livia's. Nothing. Nothing. It's a very bad attack. He'll eat no prepared food, none. Those are his instructions, only figs from the tree. Perhaps he's right, I don't know. He cured himself before, perhaps he'll do it again.
Did he give any reason?
None. He has this obsession that it mustn't be touched by human hand, not even by yours. Well, perhaps he's right after all. No matter how many times one tells them, I swear the kitchen staff never wash their hands after they've been to the lavatory. But he's too ill to go to Rome. He'll have to stay here in Nola for a few days.
Are you feeling better? There's a delegation here from Rome. They're waiting to see you. Well, you're a fine one. You made yourself worse with all those figs. I never heard anything so ridiculous. I only came on this journey to look after you. And you won't let me or anyone else cook for you. It's very embarrassing, you know. People might think we were trying to poison you. I sent for Tiberius. Fortunately, he wasn't too far away. He'll be here soon. Well, I thought you might want to see him. And he'll do everything that has to be done. Hasn't he always? Of course, you two haven't always seen eye to eye. But that hasn't been entirely his fault. You know that, don't you? You were always inclined to favor one over the other. I've often spoken to you about it. You made fish of one and fowl of the other so often that no one knew where he was or what he was. You should have listened to me more. You should have. You know that, don't you? I've been right more often than you have, you know. But because I was a woman, you pushed me into the background. Oh, yes. Yes, you did. And all I ever wanted was for you and for Rome. Nothing I ever did was for myself. Nothing. Only for you and for Rome. As a Claudian should. Oh, yes, my dear. I'm a Claudian. I think you are apt to forget that at times. But I never did. No. Never. No.
How is he?
He's dead. Augustus is dead.
The earth will shake.
I must go and see the senators and the consuls from Rome. Stay with him till I return. By the way, don't touch the figs. Augustus has fallen into a deep sleep. He willed himself to stay awake until my son arrived, and then, comforted by his return, he dozed off. There's no point in your waiting here. Come back again tomorrow. Between now and then, I will post bulletins on the door. You are Colonel Sejanus,
Yes, lady.
the son of the commander of the guard.
Yes, lady.
Your father has high regard for you.
I hope you won't find it misplaced.
You know why you're here.
Yes, I'll leave at once.
Good.
Lady. Weighted with stones. We'll bury it at sea.
Are you Fabius Maximus?
Yes, what's the message?
It's here.
Let the will be read. This is the last will and testament of Augustus Caesar, formerly Cneius Octavius of the family of Julius, made on the 3rd of April in the year of the consuls Lucius Plancus and Gaius Silius. Forasmuch as a sinister fate has bereft me of my sons, Gaius and Lucius, It is now my will that Tiberius Claudius Nero Caesar become my heir in the first range of 2/3 of my estate. And in the remaining third of the first range, also it is my will that my beloved wife, Livia, shall become my heir.
Come in.
And in recognition of her lifelong service to the state, shall, if the Senate graciously permit, adopt the name of...
What do you want?
Augusta.
Spit it out, boy.
Father said I might come and offer my
condolences?
Oh, condolences, yes, Grandmother. It's a terrible tragedy.
Have you been in the Senate?
On the steps. I'm not allowed in the Senate.
No, neither am I. They won't allow me in because I'm a woman, and they won't allow you in because you're a fool. That's strange when you come to think of it, because it's filled with nothing but old women and fools.
They read the will.
That's what they think.
Pardon?
Where have they got to?
They asked Uncle Tiberius to take Augustus' place, but he refused.
And I'll bet they asked him again, and I'll bet that he said yes.
Yes, he did.
Well, what are they doing now?
Debating whether to make Augustus a god.
Debating, are they? What do you think?
I think they should. I think it was foretold.
Really not. Who foretold it?
Jove.
Jove, eh?
100 days ago, he melted the letter C on one of Augustus' statues.
What does that mean, idiot head?
If you strike out letter C from Caesar, word Isa is left, and in Etruscan, Isa means God.
Deciphered the Etruscan now, have we?
Yes, Grandmother. I've been studying it.
Ah, you fool. If Jove wanted to talk to us, don't you think he'd talk to us in Latin, not in Etruscan? What'd be the point of that? Hadn't thought of that, had you? All the same. I'd drop a note to your Uncle Tiberius if I were you. It sounds to me as if he could use all the arguments he could get.
Will they make Augustus a god?
Oh, yes. He is a god. And so shall I be one day. I prophesy. And here's another prophecy. If Jove ever melts the sea off your name, what's left will turn out to mean jackass. Bye-bye, claw, claw. All right, you can go now.
Wicked woman! Wickedness! Here, what's this? Eh? Augustus' will! You stole it! His last will! Poison his queen! Poison his queen! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Light. Mushrooms. Yes, I'm working too hard here. Too much work. I must get it all done now. I must finish. Now, where was I? Augustus died, yes. Uncle Tiberius took his place. But he didn't want it. Not then. Waited too long. Yeah, strange man. Filthy brute. All power corrupts. Only one man kept him in check. Germanicus, my brother. My dear brother Germanicus. Tiberius sent him to Syria to take command. And then?
Let his body be laid in the marketplace of Antioch, so that the people may see the marks of poison and witchery on his body. Let word be sent to Rome. Germanicus is dead. Germanicus is dead. Oh. Oh, nothing stands now between Rome and her imperial destiny.
My children, does your father come home to you? Ashes in an urn. Look at him. Remember him. Remember all your days how your father returned to you. Take it, Castor. Carry it to Rome. And by the love you had for my dear husband, defend his children and avenge his death. My babies! My babies! What have they done to you? And Claudius, dear Claudius, you I know loved him.
It was dearer to me than anyone. Nobody had such a brother.
Where is the Emperor? And where is Livia?
Too stricken with grief to appear in public.
And your mother?
The same.
Oh, is their grief greater than ours, then? All along the way, in every town and village, the people flooded to pay their respects to his ashes as we passed. The air was filled with cries and lamentations. Look at the faces of these people here. It's as if they've lost a son or a father of their own. Yet the man he called father and the woman who was his grandmother do not come out to greet us. I ask again, is their grief greater than ours? Put the ashes on the hearse and let us journey on to Rome.
100,000 people out there. Mars Field is ablaze with torches.
The funeral will be over soon. The crowds will disperse.
Why did they admire him so?
When you're not the emperor, you've always got the emperor to blame.
My husband was emperor for 40 years, and he was admired by everyone.
Ah, well. I wasn't preferring the gods.
When Augustus died, the troops on the Rhine would have made Germanicus emperor, if he'd agreed to it.
Manicus didn't believe in emperors. He'd have done better if he had.
There's a lot of bad feeling out there. It's all directed at me. What do they want of me? They always preferred him to me. Why?
You just don't have a lovable nature. It's unfortunate, but even your own son doesn't care for you much.
I think I'm loved by a great many people.
Oh, you're loved, all right, but you're not well loved.
And you are, I suppose.
Well, as to that I couldn't say, but unlike you, I don't worry about it.
Well, at any rate, if he's profoundly loved, he's also profoundly dead. There's no harm in loving the dead. Everybody's loved when he's dead.
I wouldn't count on that if I were you.
What is it you want, Mother?
I'm told that your son, Castor, and Agrippina intend to prosecute Piso and Plancina on charges of treason and murder.
They have no proof.
Well, I dare say they could tell a pretty tale.
A pretty tale isn't proof.
That's a different story from the one you've been telling for the last 5 years. You've buried more men with your pretty tales than anyone I know.
Where is he now?
My last report said he'd taken ship from Illyria. He was on his way to Rome.
I won't have him tried.
Better to have him tried and cleared than live forever under a cloud.
Well, it won't trouble Piso to live under a cloud.
I wasn't thinking of Piso. I was thinking of you.
Has it ever occurred to you, Mother, that it's you they hate, and not me?
There is nothing in this world that occurs to you that has not occurred to me first. That is the affliction I live with.
I can't believe it. Dearly as I love my son, I can't believe what you're saying. Piso, yes. We all know his record. But Tiberius...
Then why did he appoint Piso governor of Syria? There were others he could have chosen.
But it wasn't a good choice, I grant you. But don't ask me to believe that an emperor of Rome would stoop to such methods.
Oh, those are his methods. He doesn't need to stoop. Yes, I'm sorry, Castor, but I will say it even though he's your father.
No, say it. Say it. You can say nothing against my father that I've not already said myself.
It's not for us to accuse the Emperor. We have no proof of his involvement.
Proof? The people won't need proof. The people know. They're not fools.
I've instructed the prosecutor to prepare charges against Piso and Plancina.
On what grounds?
Treason and murder. Is there really proof of murder?
And of witchery.
Is it possible? Barbarian Jew that I am, I find it incredible that the most sophisticated people on earth believe in witchery.
Oh, scoff all you like, Herod, but you judge for yourself. On our return to Syria from Egypt, Germanicus fell ill and suspected that Plancina had bribed her way into our kitchens and was having his food poisoned.
But why?
Because Germanicus had dismissed her husband, Piso. So I prepared all his food myself, but he was able to eat very little. He complained that there was a smell of death in the house and began to believe that Plancina was using witchcraft against him. He made a propitiating sacrifice of 9 black puppies to Hecate, which was the proper thing to do when being victimized. And the very next day, a slave who was washing the floor of the hall noticed a loose tile. Lifting it up, he saw beneath it the naked and decaying corpse of a baby, its belly painted red, with horns tied to its forehead. We made an immediate search in every room, and equally gruesome finds were made. Corpse of a cat with rudimentary wings growing in its back. The head of a Negro with a child's white hand stuck in its mouth. The skull of an ass with the word Germanicus written across it. Oh, cock's feathers smeared in blood were found among the cushions. The word Rome written upside down. And the number 17. Now, only I knew that the number 17 upset him dreadfully.
Plancina must have had accomplices at the house.
And I tell you, there could not have been. The woman dabbles in witchcraft.
Go on, Peter.
One of the things that upset him most was the appearance of his name, each day shortened by a letter. It would appear quite suddenly, without explanation, in rooms to which the servants had no access, and where the windows were too small for a man to climb through. He told me he was doomed. But I told him, no, not as long as you have the green jasper charm of Hecate with you. He felt under his pillow and he found it, and that comforted him, because he knew as long as he had that talisman safe, nothing could happen to him. That night, while he was asleep, he felt a tiny movement under his pillow. He turned on his side and fumbled for the charm. It was gone. Tell me, Herod, how did it disappear? Nobody but myself was allowed in that room. Who could have taken it? Who? Caligula, darling, what are you doing out of bed?
I've had a bad dream, Mother.
Oh, my poor baby, come here. What did you dream?
Horrid dream. I dreamt there were bats sitting along the shelf in my room. Then they flew down and sat on me until I was all covered with them, and no one could see me anymore.
My poor baby.
You shouldn't eat so much before you go to bed.
Oh, Mother, he's been through so much.
He stuffs himself with all manner of things.
Perhaps he likes to sleep with Lucillus. He'd be company for him.
Would you like that, darling? Would you like to sleep in your cousin's room?
I'd rather sleep with Drusilla.
Drusilla? Your sister? A boy of your age? What is the world coming to?
Oh, he doesn't mean anything by
He's been too long in the East. He should have been left here in Rome. Syria is no place to bring up a Roman child.
I don't like it here.
Well, you'll have to get used to it then, won't you?
What was so wonderful about the East,
Herod Agrippa is talking to you, child.
Oh, it was full of strange and mysterious people and things. Syrians made a great fuss of him, I'm afraid. Half the time we never saw him. He wandered all over Antioch. The house slaves took him everywhere.
He's had more freedom than is good for him.
Oh, I don't think so. His father was very strict with him. Now, would you like to sleep in your cousin's room, as Uncle Claudius suggests?
I'll go back to my own room.
Yes, I'll take him back. Say good night.
Good night.
He's very overwrought.
Now, what about the trial? Do you really think you can prove a charge of poison?
We have a witness, a woman called Martina. She's a notorious poisoner, well known in the province. She was seen many times with Plancina.
Where is she now?
On her way to Rome. She's being kept hidden in different places along the route.
We must find a place for her when she arrives. Sejanus agents arrive looking for her even now.
Oh, I know a place. The house of a merchant friend of mine.
Good. Now, I've applied for permission to prosecute in the courts.
I think that's not a good idea.
Well, it's better to have it tried in the courts than in the Senate by my father.
Your father can fix the courts behind the scenes. If he's tried in the Senate by him, Tiberius will be on trial too.
Oh, clever Claude. He's right. He'll be better off in the Senate.
Then we'll move for a trial in the Senate.
In the Senate? Well, I mean, what's wrong with the courts?
I tried to get the case heard in the courts, but my son and his friends pressed for a hearing in the Senate. I couldn't oppose them. I had no grounds.
Well, I mean, if it's the Senate, it's the Senate. I mean, why should I be concerned? I'm no stranger to the Senate. And if my enemies have friends there, so have I. They'll find that out soon enough. And you will be hearing the case yourself.
Of course.
Well, then, what better guarantee of justice have we? And justice is all Plancina and I came home for.
We've done nothing to be ashamed of, except that it makes me ashamed to have to say so.
That was very well put. I couldn't have put that better. But that shame, you mark my word, will be theirs in the end. Certain people will come to rue the day they so wantonly accused Gnaeus Culperius Piso and his wife of murder.
They're arraigning you on a charge of treason as well.
Treason? Oh, it's treason now, is it? What will they think of next? That I caused a plague of moths? or it is I who am polluting the Tiber? I mean, there was a drought on in Syria when I left. Perhaps I caused that as well.
I should prepare your defense well.
I shall prepare my defense. That will take me no time. But treason, where is the treason? I mean, I had certain disagreements with Germanicus, but I was not sent there to be his houseboy.
They were very cold to us, you know, Germanicus and Agrippina. From the very start, they snubbed us.
Well, naturally, they knew why I was there. They knew I had not been made governor of Syria to follow like a small dog behind a parade. I was there as watchdog for my emperor, and they knew it. Oh, the insults we bore at their hands.
Even members of his own command were ashamed. At official banquets, we were seated on the third couch. And as for Agrippina, well, she gave herself such airs, she might have been queen.
And they accuse me of treason. Oh, don't talk to me of treason, not to me. What has my whole life been but one of service to Rome and to my emperor? My sons, too. Let the jackals howl. I have nothing to fear. I come home with my head held high. I am ashamed of nothing.
I gave orders not to be disturbed.
My lord, the commander of the guard has an urgent report to make.
Wait here.
He says very little. He neither agrees nor disagrees.
Until nothing from that.
Well, he already plays the judge.
The judge how?
Well, he listens, but not with sympathy.
It's just his way. He's a very cold fish. You can tell nothing from that.
I don't like it. It's not what I expected.
Each one written in his own handwriting. Quote, I have the utmost faith in you. Quote, any steps taken to check disloyalty will be looked on kindly by the Senate and the citizens of Rome. Now, what did he expect me to make of such phrases? I'm not a fool, neither is he. There is tacit agreement for every move we made.
But they bear his seal. No power in Rome will allow a letter bearing the imperial seal to be read in public.
I don't need it to be read in public. They will be beside me in the Senate, mute but eloquent. They will plead our case better than Cicero could have done. I mean, there isn't a senator who won't understand the meaning of those letters and vote the way he believes his emperor wants it.
Who's the woman, Martina?
Martina, she's the widow of the Roman soldier who settled in Antioch. We knew her slightly.
Did you know that she was notorious as a poisoner in the province?
Poisoner? She ever been convicted of poisoning?
Anyway, what of her?
Sejanus says that she has been brought secretly to Rome to be a witness.
Where is she?
His agents haven't found her yet. Do you have anything to fear from this witness?
Not if she speaks the truth. But if she is to be held incommunicado, I mean, who knows what they may not persuade her to say?
Well, let's hope we find her first, then.
I love this room. It was my life.
But you won't mind letting it to us.
Who can afford to keep an empty room, but we've got to pay in advance?
My friend will pay.
Are you taking the room? Yes. You like it. It's got a very fine view over the river. If you stand on a box, you'll see.
It's not for me. It's for my mother.
Oh. Well, it's not very comfortable. What about those soldiers? I'm not letting a barracks.
No questions, Gershom. She's being locked up here.
Locked up? What kind of a son are you? Honor thy father, thy mother.
Do you want us to look elsewhere?
Of course I want you to look elsewhere. It's a disgrace. Where do you think I run here? A jail?
Enough.
If I've approved of what you're doing, it would be enough. But since you're offending against the Mosaic law...
It's Roman law here, Gershom.
It's Roman law everywhere, that's the trouble. But one day... With that kind of son, you've got to be lucky with your daughters.
Like everyone else, I grieve for Germanicus. But apart from the charge of murder, we must consider the question of treason. Did Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso incite his troops to mutiny and rebellion? Did he bribe them to support him? Did he make war to regain his province? The case against Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso may now be heard.
If it please the Emperor, my father, I have been asked to open the case against the accused. In the matter of murder, we shall be bringing before the House clear evidence of poisoning. In the matter of treason, we shall show that after Germanicus' death, Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso raised the troops in a rebellion against the newly appointed governor of that province.
No, let go of me! Let go of me, or I'll kill the woman!
What's this?
I hate you!
What's the matter?
He is disgusting.
What has he done?
Oh!
Mother, what has he done?
That child is a monster.
I'm not you, old German woman! I'll burn your German house down!
Stop it! Come here! Now, what is all this German?
He calls everything German that he doesn't like. He is a monster.
What has he done?
He knows what he's done.
I didn't do anything! I didn't! Honestly, Uncle Claudius, I didn't do anything. I swear it was only a game.
I found him in Drusilla's bed. Naked, the pair of them. He is revolting, and so is she. I've locked her in her room.
Well, Mother,
and you are a blockhead if you believe his lies.
Where are you taking him?
To the cellar to lock him in.
Please don't let her take me. Please, Uncle Claudius. I hate the cellar. I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, you leave him here with me. I'll talk to him.
He needs a good whipping, not a talking to. Oh, Claudius, you are such a fool. I've no patience with you. It should have been you who died, not Germanicus. What use are you to anyone?
Don't you know that you shouldn't play games like that with your sister? Don't you know how wicked it is?
Why?
Why? Because it is.
Why?
Now, look, don't you answer me back or I'll cut you around the head. Now, you listen to me. Now, a sister is a sister, and she's got to be played with. Ever. Do you understand? You can't play with her, and you can't parry her.
But she wanted to...
I don't care what she wanted. You're disgusting, the pair of you, and I shall talk to Scylla later. What's the matter?
Martina's disappeared.
What?
We took an escort and went to fetch her. She was gone. The guard outside had been overpowered and the room was empty.
But, Sejanus, who else? That man's spies are everywhere. Thick as flies in summer.
We've lost our chief witness.
Oh, that won't save the pair of them, and if Tiberius thinks it will, he's mistaken. What's he doing here?
Well, he's been very, very naughty. Mother was going to thrash him.
Oh, why can't people leave him alone? Hasn't he been through enough already?
When I heard of the death of Germanicus, I was on the island of Kos. In fact, on my way back to Rome to report my dismissal to the emperor. Yes, and complain about it. I make no bones about that. Now, my accusers say that I entered temples and made sacrifices in an orgy of celebration.
So you did!
One ewe and a goat. What orgy? And why? To celebrate the birth of a grandson. The living have their rights as well as the dead. You would have done the same.
Why did you return to Syria? Why didn't you go on to Rome?
Because I was still governor of Syria.
We have the written instructions of Germanicus ordering you to leave the province. Sertius had been made governor of Syria.
Illegally. That governorship was mine. And the man who had unfairly removed me was dead. I had my appointment. I had my instructions. I knew where my loyalties lay. I have no need to read them. My defense will stand on its own merit. I said I have no need to read them.
Unless order is maintained in the House, I shall adjourn.
If Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso's argument is to rely upon instructions, This house has the right to know what's in them.
These letters bear the imperial seal. No one has the right to read them.
The Emperor may consent to having them read.
They have no bearing on the case.
Then why produce them?
They are not produced in evidence. They are merely here among my papers.
If it please the Emperor, I move that any instructions received by the accused from Rome be entered as evidence pertaining to his guilt or innocence.
I second that motion.
Those letters bear the imperial seal, the seal of the god Augustus himself. There is no precedent for making their contents public. I will not create such a precedent. The motion is denied.
Well, they got more than they bargained for, eh? They thought they had a rabbit in the Senate. It turns out they had a tiger. Hey, Pansina? Oh, leave us, my friends. Pansina is tired. After such a day, a good night's rest, a little peace and quiet will work miracles, you'll see. Our enterprise will prosper again tomorrow, you'll see. Good night, my friends. Good night. What's the matter, Plancina?
Oh, I don't like it. It didn't go the way it should.
I thought it went very well.
And you shouldn't have used those letters. That was a mistake.
What do you mean, mistake?
Well, you saw the look on his face. He'll never forgive you.
We were carrying out his orders.
Well, he's not to thank you for reminding him of it.
I don't want his thanks as long as he remembers.
He'll never forgive you, never.
I'm not asking his forgiveness. He should be asking me for mine. That charge should never have taken place.
Why has he allowed it?
He had to give them a show. Germanicus has powerful friends. He can't just thumb his nose at them. So he gives them a trial. But a trial is one thing. A conviction, that's another. That he'd never allow. Because if we're guilty, so is he, and so is his mother. He knows that, and the Senate does. We did what we were asked to. Harass and provoke Germanicus into showing his hand.
But did that include bringing about his death as well?
Yes, well, that was your idea.
My idea?
Yes. Oh, what does it matter? It turned out to be an additional bonus for them. They're not complaining.
What do you mean? It was my idea.
Well, I mean, wasn't it you who came to me and said it could be managed?
Well, that's wonderful. I'm to blame then, am I?
Of course not.
No, I can just see the way your mind is working. I'm going to be sacrificed.
Stop
Is
it.
that
What are you
it?
talking about?
I'm
What are you
going
going
to
on
be
about?
sacrificed at the temple. Well, I won't
Stop
be.
it.
I won't be.
Stop it. Control yourself.
No.
Yes, what is it?
Lucius alias Sejanus is here, Master.
Show him in.
What does he want?
How would I know what he wants? Say, control yourself. Don't want him to see you looking like this.
I came to tell you, sir, that I've had guards placed all round the house.
Why? I have guards of my own.
Yes, of course. But the crowd is very large. It seems to be in an ugly mood.
Oh, what's their mood to me? I go where I please in Rome. Nobody stops me.
The Emperor requested it. For your safety.
Well, I mean, if it's for our safety. We're very pleased, eh, Plancina? I understand their chief witness against me has, disappeared.
So it seems.
Perhaps they never had one in the first place.
Oh, I think they had one, but unaccountably, she's disappeared. Oh, by the way, the Emperor asked me to ask you for the letters.
The letters?
Since they're documents of state, they should be placed in the archives. After all, they might get stolen or fall into the wrong hands.
As a matter of fact, I was just about to send them around. We were just talking about it. Eh, Francine? Here they are. Give them to the Emperor. Tell him I will never forget the things he wrote. I treasure in my mind every word.
Thank you. The Imperial Guard will escort you to the Senate tomorrow. You needn't worry about the crowds.
Tell the Emperor I am grateful. Tell him I'm always of service. Tell him Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso is his humble servant and always will be.
You'll have to sacrifice them. The mob will not have them acquitted. They're dragging Piso's statues down to the Tiber now and smashing them. It's as though they already have the meat hooks under his chin.
What are they saying about me?
That Piso and his wife had your approval for everything they did. If you let them go now, they'll be convinced of it. But above all, they praise Agrippina. The glory of her country, they call her, the only true descendant of Augustus.
Did he give you the letters without complaint?
He expects you to save him, but you must not.
I've come to tell you, Tiberius, that I and all of Rome hold you responsible for my husband's death and will do so until you prove your innocence. We know, too, that you've taken that woman who was our witness, but it will avail you nothing. Emperor you may be, but justice is emperor over all.
The fact that you are not queen, my dear, is that the greatest injustice of all?
Vengeance, Tiberius! Walk down into the marketplace. The people are crying for it on every corner. Rome will not rest until you give it to them. And neither shall I.
Where is the woman Martina?
We don't know.
Then find her. Am I to be blamed for everything? How are you going to get a conviction if you don't find her? Find her! She must be somewhere!
And what other poisons do you use? Have you ever tried aconite, for instance?
Aconite? Now, what's that?
Well, the roots look very like horseradish, but it'll do more than clear your head if you eat it.
Oh, yes, bless you, lady. I know the one you mean. You mean wolf's bane. Well, that's what we call it. It came originally from India.
Yeah, I never knew that.
I bet you didn't know its antidote either.
Morphine?
You have made a study of it. Of course, I don't worry too much about antidotes.
Oh, well, you never know. Sometimes some fool of a slave will get the bowls mixed up.
I can see you've read a lot. It's a pity in a way you don't get a chance to practice. You'll be very good.
Thank you. Tell me now, what do you use on my grandson Germanicus?
Ah, belladonna.
Ah, that accounts for the red rash.
He nearly always leaves that mark. That's why I didn't want to use it. But Plancina insisted. I warned her, but she'd been told by know-it-alls how tasteless it was. You know what people are like.
Amateurs. But you used witchcraft as well.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. All I did was arrange some apparitions. Your grandson was more superstitious than any man living. I just frightened him to death. If a man believes he's going to die, he'll die a lot quicker than if he doesn't.
How did you gain access to that house?
You remember when Germanicus went to Egypt? He took Agrippina with him, but left little Caligula behind as a punishment.
What for?
Oh, that child was never out of mischief. You know, he hated his father. They fought like cat and dog. See, you told me how superstitious his father was. Well, they left him in the care of a tutor, a Greek, whom I knew. He took the child for walks all over the city, and each day he brought him to see me. Oh, that child's a strange one. He told me once he was born a god. And such was the conviction with which he said it, I believed him. And I said I did. It was then I suggested that he played the death game. I said a god should be able to frighten a man to death. And he shouted, "Tell me how, and I'll show you." So I told him.
Are you telling me that that child was responsible for poisoning his own father?
Shocking, isn't it?
He said a god is a monster.
You try telling him. Hey.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I've got a pain.
Oh, come. It's wind, that's all. I have it all the time. Do you seriously think if I wanted to dispose of you, I'd stoop to doing it myself?
What's going to happen to me?
I don't know. I'll do the best I can for you. It's lucky for you that my agents found you before my sons did. If they hadn't, you wouldn't be sitting here complaining about wind, I can tell you.
The trial of Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso and his wife Plancina is now resumed.
We understand that the principal witness in the charge of poisoning has not been found. In her absence, the prosecution have no case, and we request that the charge be withdrawn.
Request denied.
If it please the Emperor, the wife of Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso has asked that from now on her defense be conducted separately from her husband's, and that she be tried independently from him.
Why? Why did you do this to me? Don't you see what they'll think? Do you want me to die?
They've made up their minds. There's nothing you nor I can say will change them. The Emperor has abandoned you. He's given you up to the mob. There's nothing on earth can save you now.
What about you?
I'll go to Livia. She at least stands by her friends. Oh, Piso, listen to me. There's the honor and wealth of our family to be saved. Our sons, our daughters, our grandchildren. What of them? If you take your life now, there's a chance. And a good one, that an honorable death will preserve the family wealth. Well, execution means only one thing. Destruction for all we've built.
Fall on a sword. Is that what you want for me, your husband? Is that to be the end of Gnaeus Calpurnius Piso? No. There is another way. You go to Livia, yes. Tell her I have a letter, another letter. She'll remember the one she wrote. It's in her name and his. But it bears no seal. Tell her no power on earth will prevent me reading it in the Senate aloud tomorrow, unless I have assurances of acquittal.
You're bluffing.
No. Tell her. She'll remember. Tell her I intend to read it aloud in the Senate tomorrow.
Well, don't look at me as if I just told you I was pregnant. He's got a letter. And it's very incriminating. And he'll read it unless we do something about it.
You wrote a letter. In my name and yours. Without even using the seal.
You were away. And anyway, you don't let me use the seal.
Who's emperor here? You or I?
I used Augustus's seal. I had the free use of that.
I am not Augustus.
No, you're not. Otherwise, this situation would never have arisen.
I think I shall go mad. You will drive me insane. Will you stay out of my affairs?
Your affairs? You wouldn't be emperor if it weren't for me. Well, what's done can be undone. Plancina isn't the only one with letters. I've got plenty from Augustus saying exactly what he thought about you, and don't think I won't have them circulated if I have to.
What do you want?
I don't want that letter read in the Senate. You'd be a fool if you allowed it.
You want my assurances that they'll be acquitted?
Of course I do. They should be acquitted. And if you had any backbone, you'd get them acquitted.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's your letter. You stick to it. And if it's read in the House, I'll deny all knowledge of it and excuse you on the grounds of mental incompetence brought on by extreme old age. And you can tell your friend Plancina that there will be no deal.
What a spineless, miserable, mean-spirited creature you are. He won't have it. He won't acquit your husband. There is too much feeling against him.
And what about me?
Well, I was a little more successful there. In exchange for the letter, he will allow your husband to take his own life rather than face execution. Then he will see to it that you are spared and that your family and your estates do not suffer.
And if my husband refuses?
Well, I would see to it that he doesn't refuse if I were you. It shouldn't be hard. Appeal to his sense of honor. Men find that irresistible.
And what guarantee do I have that your son will get me acquitted?
Well, you see, I have Martina. But he doesn't know that. Now, his chances of convicting you without her are remote. On the other hand, if that letter is read, I shall be compelled, very reluctantly, to produce her.
He won't help us. He has abandoned us.
Miserable cur. I shall read this letter. The Senate will see what sort of emperor they have and what sort of bitch gave him birth and calls herself mother of the nation.
No, wait, please listen to me. We can't fight them. They're too powerful. And anyway, there's the children and the estates. Is the whole family to be destroyed because of us? Oh, I can't believe it. It's not right. I won't allow it. We've lived together. We'll die together, too. Oh, there's comfort in that, isn't there?
You would die with me?
I couldn't live without you. We'll leave the letter for Livia. She'll help the family when we've gone. I know that.
Yes, you're right. Tired of it all. have everybody against you. All you've done is your duty. There's no gratitude anymore. No honor. The hell with Rome. I'm done with it. How shall we do it? Open a vein? Let them find us lying together. Shall we let them find us lying together? Oh, they're bluffing. They wouldn't dare have that letter read.
Would you rather have an executioner's sword on your neck like a common criminal?
It'll never come to that.
Oh, you coward. Well, I'm made of sterner stuff.
Francina.
I'll show you how a Roman should die.
Francina, they're bluffing. They'll never have that letter read. Francina, they've never read.
Yes. Piso is dead, but Plancina goes free. And you call that justice?
Well, it's some justice, I suppose. Better than none.
Oh, yes. Some justice.
Tina, can't we let it rest now?
I have sons to think about. Their father is dead because Tiberius hated him. Oh, let's not deceive ourselves about that. And if he hated their father, will he love them anymore? I worry about my boys. Nero, Drusus, dear little Caligula asleep in his bed. What's to become of them?
It's Sejanus. My father listens to everything he says, and Sejanus plays on his fears.
Can anyone smell burning? I can smell something.
Mistress! Look here, you little Caligula set fire to the house! It's burning the whole top floor to blaze! Run!
far I'm trying to keep up, but it never let her. So slow as tiger, so that day to buy on, get a jingle away to the sky. Every time I see you, and I can sing your phone away to set me flying lost in time. Getting you here out of me to fly. I try to keep it in that far. Like all this need one. So say goodbye, say goodbye. I'm reaching for a way, and I don't do so. Trying to keep up, but it never let her. So slow as tiger, so that day to buy on, get a jingle away to the sky. Every time I see you, and I can sing your phone away to set me flying lost in time. Getting you here out of me to fly. I try.